Shukran sana mwenzangu Jeff Mwangemi, na jinsi ulivyosema ni kwamba studioni leo tunaye mbunge wa Suba North, Mheshimiwa Millie Odhiambo. Na Millie Odhiambo has a bill that is called the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill, and thank you very much, Mheshimiwa, and welcome to our studios.
Thank you.
You are sponsoring the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill. Yes. What does this bill seek to achieve?
First of all, thank you for inviting me to the studios, but also to say that I'm very happy that we will be talking to Honorable Sabina Chege, who is going to talk about breastfeeding mothers bill. My bill is actually sort of like a starting point to that breastfeeding. The bill is about men and women who are not able to have children and to help them using technology to have children. So that then they can go to Sabina Chege's bill, where then they can breastfeed. So the bill is about ensuring that women and men who are not having children are able to have children using technology.
Okay, and this kind of service in Kenya seems to be very costly.
Yes.
The lowest cost of IVF, ICSI per treatment is $4,500.
Yes.
In a country where the poverty levels remain at 42%, as estimated by the World Bank in 2013. How many Kenyans will afford this kind of treatment?
Well, one of the things that we are trying to do with the assisted reproduction is that if you actually make it as a law, then you are actually obligating the government to make it part of the system. And if you make it part of the system of the government, including taking it to the counties, then it should be able to be received at a much lower rate. And when we actually institutionalize it as part of the government, then it means even people who are having challenges in their own countries can use our systems. So it can also be even a source for revenue generation, even for the country, because I've seen many, many countries, Kenyans go to other countries, just the way we go to India or South Africa for medical tourism. In Kenya, instead of our people going there, now people can come to us if we have that technology.
Okay. And the only foreseeable barrier to low-cost assisted reproductive technology is lack of enough trained personnel.
Yes.
Currently in Kenya, we have less than 10 well-trained IVF specialists and inadequate trained embryologists. Service providers have to hire an expatriate embryologist, who charge a very high rate per patient per cycle, forcing these centers to operate in assisted reproductive technology batch cycles to reduce on costs. What does the bill propose in terms of training of specialists?
Well, the bill provides that the government should then train specialists so that in the year 2025, Kenya shouldn't be talking about lack of specialists in any category. And when you make it as a government facility, then it will be incumbent upon the government to ensure that we have enough trained personnel. When it is in the hands of the private sector, then it means the government is not obligated to provide for it. But if you have a facility for the government which has no specialists, then the government must then train. So we make provision for training of specialists.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is also the challenge of stigma and myths that often lead to couples seeking services from religious sects, witch doctors and herbalists.
Yes.
How does the bill propose to deal with this challenge?
Well, through awareness creation. And even bringing this bill alone is an attempt to deal with the issue of stigma, because it is not easy for people, I've seen in this country, it's not easy for anybody who doesn't have a child to come forward and say they don't have. But me, I've come forward and I've said I don't have a child, and I'm bringing this bill so that people can discuss it and people can normalize the fact that there are people who are having challenges having children, and therefore through this law they can. But we make provision for government to use awareness creation to deal with the issue of stigma.
Okay. I think we are now coming to the close of this discussion, and maybe you can make your final remarks.
Well, my final remarks is that we don't have a legal framework dealing with assisted reproduction, and assisted reproduction does not go against religion, because some people are fearing that it goes against religion, especially because of the issue of surrogacy. It provides for issue of surrogacy, which is actually available in most of our traditional culture. In the Luo culture, for instance, a woman who didn't have a child was allowed to let the husband get another woman and who would just have children for her. That is traditional surrogacy. So our traditional systems was way ahead of us, and so it is time that we provide that framework to enable men and women who are struggling having children, and also to destigmatize the issue of childlessness.
Okay, thank you very much, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
That has been Suba North Member of Parliament Millie Odhiambo talking to us about a bill that she's sponsoring in the National Assembly, the reproductive assisted technology. Shortly, we are going to have a discussion with nominated member of the National Assembly, Sabina Chege, who will be coming into the studio in a short while. Continue watching. This is PBU in collaboration with Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. My name is Tilio Marco, and I'm told that Mheshimiwa Sabina Chege is not near right now, and we may not have her right now in the studio, and so we apologize for that, and we continue with our live broadcast of the National Assembly this day of 10th of June 2025. My name is Tilio Marco, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Tumekuwa na Mheshimiwa Millie Odhiambo ambaye amekuwa akizungumza kuhusiana na mswada anaoshughulikia katika ukumbi wa bunge la taifa. Ni mswada ambao unahusu kusaidia kina mama wasioweza kujifungua kwa njia ya kawaida. Na msikilizaji, tunaendelea kukuletea basi matangazo ya moja kwa moja kutoka bunge la taifa, na katika muda usiokuwa mrefu tutarejea na matangazo yetu ya moja kwa moja. Kwa sasa tunarejea studioni kwa muda mfupi, kisha tutaendelea na matangazo yetu ya kawaida ya moja